Hey, y'all. Ooh, y'all. I had to, have y'all ever heard Crime Mob Run Up, Get Done Up? I just had to play that to get me a little bit ready for today's interaction.
You think it's going to be that bad?
Listen. The world is our oyster. Who knows what information you about to bring, Miss Sean? Who knows? Who knows?
Look, I already told you I'm doing facts.
Facts
only.
We like facts. We like receipts too.
But I'm doing facts because I do not want nobody calling me talking about you libeling and you defaming.
I know that's right, Miss Sean. I know. That's why I said what I say. I said I apologize in advance for any conflict of interest.
Right.
just letting you know off the bat. Well, again, what's this? The second time? Welcome back, ladies. Thank you so much for stopping in. Everyone that's tuned in and tuning in. If this your first time, if y'all came in just for this subject, y'all missed it. But I get it. But I get it. I mean, welcome back to another episode of the feature. I mean, is there any other way to get into it than to just, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. Just get right into it.
Well, I mean, you can ask how I'm doing.
That's what I say. How y'all doing? What day is it?
It's Thursday.
It's Friday Eve. That's what I like to call it. When I'm working, I like to call it Friday Eve. But I'm on vacation, so I don't know.
Today was my Friday. Nice. They decided to give us Friday and Monday for Memorial Day and 4th of July this year. So
love that.
Cool.
Yesterday was my Friday.
They had to steal a day from us because we got Juneteenth now. So.
Oh no! See, we don't have Juneteenth. They not there yet.
On the campus, on the HBCU. What?
No. My real.
You talking about work?
Real job, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I forgot there's a separation of the two. Okay. I got you.
My job not there yet.
Oh man.
I mean, given the fact that two whites are trademarking it now, is it even worth it at this point? I'm like, it was just better when nobody knew about it.
Well, I'm gonna just take the day. I'm gonna tell you if they transition to it, I'm gonna take the day.
I mean, I feel you. I understand. I got you.
I think it was better when nobody knew about it.
Yeah, it made
there were small celebrations going on. Yeah, it's a little different now. They capitalize.
It's open to exploitation now.
Right. Absolutely. Have you seen the panties?
The what?
It's some Juneteenth panties, Miss Sean.
Good night.
I'm serious. I'm about to Google it now. They're red.
It was the napkins that said it's the freedom for me.
It's the freedom.
No.
But we're not even free. But we gonna not do that. But come on now.
It's the freedom for me. And you know it wasn't nobody but a white person that made that up. It's the freedom for me.
It's the freedom. They were at Walmart too. They had a whole little section. It was plates, cups, napkins. But the napkin said it's the freedom for me.
I'm concerned.
It's the freedom for me.
I'm concerned.
How ignorant is that?
But again, it's our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something we started. And now you gonna put it on a napkin. It's the freedom for me.
That's what we get for.
Mm-hmm. But that's what happens when you want to, we want everybody to understand, but then when we don't understand the consequences that come with it, that putting it out in the streets, like you said, exploitation, and it just goes to the 180 of what if it was meant to mean in the first place.
And they always find a way in that process to disrespect us.
Absolutely.
I don't even, I mean, who was in the room that said, yeah, we should put that on a napkin? Nobody said that.
See, nothing but the whites. But I mean, it's the same thing. Like, what is this? May we about to go into June? What's about to happen in June with all the companies? The alleged allies of queer people, gay, all those different things. It's just an ongoing thing. But I mean, kind of going on what we're talking about today, when they put their hands on it and start putting put the business things on it, start trademarking and all that type of stuff. I mean, what do you do then?
And I know when they send out that stuff in my job, it's always awkward. It's never quite.
It's awkward, especially for our stuff.
Yeah, like
my job is very diverse. So they'll post things, Muslim holidays, Asian holidays, Hindu holidays. Like they post, they give every equal time. They really do. But for us, it's always just a little bit awkward. Just a little bit.
I know they tried to have some kind of culture conversation after George Floyd, and I was sitting on the phone, and I know she was about to say, "Can we all just get along?" And I was praying to Jesus that she didn't say that, because that was going to trigger me. What do you mean? Who's we? What else we need to do?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
She caught herself and she said, "I just hope things get better." Yeah, say that, because if you say, "Can we all just get along?" I got questions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, I try in corporate America to, keep it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you all, like, during this pandemic, I started realizing that they don't filter themselves. So they get a little bit more. No, they get a little bit more Portia than they did before. They used to get, "Hi, this is LaPortia." No, yep, it's a little bit more me, because they don't filter themselves. It's right. When I got to corporate America, I was like, what did I get myself into? Because I worked in social services before that. And it was just structured. And then I got to corporate America and was like, these people are crazy. So, yeah, I give them a little bit more of myself. If you're going to say what you want, I'm going to say what I want to. And that's going to be okay. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, some of them can handle it. Some of them can't. Sometimes I have to warn them.
Warn them?
Yeah. I just tell them, look, y'all, what you might get today might not be what you're accustomed to. And I just let them know I'm from Louisiana, so I cuss. And I have a sense of humor. You may not get it. So,
yeah,
who that is. At least I put it out there.
I mean,
so they don't go, they're not clutching pearls and things. So,
but that's the thing, though. You try and put them on notice, and they be like, "Oh my gosh!" It just takes so much offense to it, as if you are truly talking another language, or it's like they're starting to perpetuate that there's going to be an issue, or that they're hoping something is going to come to it. You say, "Hold on now, I'm just letting you know this may not be what you want," and they like, "Oh, she done called me all types of bitches and hoes," and this is like. That's not what I said. I just said, watch your words.
Well, things are going to be interpreted differently. Yeah. I mean, it's some people on my team that flip out on a regular basis, and I'd be like, what's going on in your life? Like, every day a bad day? Like, it's you. Something's wrong with you. But if you give it back to them, it's oh my gosh, how do we end up here?
Yeah. I wonder.
What kind of problems you got going on? You don't know, so it's always going to be interpreted a little different, but I tend not to play. We're not going to play this game. This conversation is not going well. So I think we need to end this discussion and continue at another time, because what you're not going to do is talk to me crazy. See, they have no idea who I used to be, and that God is still working on me. I would love the paycheck that come in this house, but you're not going to talk to me crazy.
Yeah.
But, well, you want to know what I got in my? I haven't had to quite pull it out yet. My current company has been pretty chill, and everything has been going good. But if and when I've decided I'm just going to start doing what the white folks do, I'm just going to start crying. Oh, I just cannot do, pulling all out the dramatics. Why not? If you can't beat them, join them, because that's what I'm about to start doing. If and when, because
we call it the WGC.
What's that?
The white girl cry.
Yeah.
It's real distinct, it's a cry that they have, or a whine in their voice when something they don't like something. And me and my coworkers, the ones I'm close to, will put in the chat WGC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strong Black woman where I'm not strong. I am not mighty. I am I am not none of that. I am weak. I need help. And I am dependent. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Sometimes you gotta, you gotta play that role every now and then.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody about this last week, and they were just like, I can't believe you have to go through all of that, and why do you do that? And I'm just like, because life's too short. I've been in this business years, and and I pick my battles. I pick my battles. I want to have a good day so that I can go home and spend my check. So, pick my battles.
Pick my battles. Woo, what a profound statement.
Okay.
Pick my battles
Can't
because
fight
it
them
seems
all.
Woo, child. I think we got some battles to talk about.
I'm gonna say it seemed like the culture has been in battle war mode all week. Lord Jesus.
Yes.
It's almost like Voldemort. I'm scared to say the word. Don't come get us.
We don't want no problems. Okay?
No smoke. No
I don't have a single dog in this fight.
And don't.
I have a perspective, which I'm entitled to have as a human being. But as far as a dog in this fight, I don't have one.
That's true. I'm just a spectator. But okay, let's jump into it. Oh, go ahead, Miss Shawn.
What? No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, so for all y'all who don't know, I'm just gonna use alleged words. Allegedly, the word on the street is
the street said.
The streets have been saying that there's a time upon us. So Miss Williams of said group that has been on Lifetime and has built a brand for community teams, apparently was given a cease and desist to stop using the name that start with a D. I mean, you don't think we can use the word? I don't know. What you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a dog.
Okay, no problem. I'm following the big dog, and I'm following Miss. Okay, cool. No problem. Okay, so Miss Diana of DD4L was sent a cease and desist letter from Southern University to stop using dancing dolls because of Southern University's dancing, the fabulous dancing dolls. And I mean, just from there, things have just gone haywire. Miss Diana said, if you want it, if we beefing, I got you. Matter of fact, let me get my paperwork, and I am going to trademark not only dancing doll, well, fabulous dancing dolls. I'm a trademark it for entertainment. I'm a trademark it for bags, shirts, shoes, this, that, and the third, what have you. And I'm just trying to figure out how did we get here. So number one, do we want to start off with how do we feel about the situation? What do we know about the situation? I've done a little bit of research, and I just watched a YouTube clip where, let's see, there was another show where Miss Diana actually chimed in and she gave a little bit of background information of what happened. And basically she was just saying, how did we get here? And that's just my question as well. How did we get here? Because apparently the dancing doll, or DD4L, was founded in 2001. Okay. Bring It, which was the show that aired on Lifetime, first aired in 2014. And so obviously the usage of the name Dancing Doll has been ongoing, not only under Miss Diana's direction, but I mean, there are teams in Louisiana, there are teams in other states, there are different teams and organizations that use the same name. So, Lord have mercy, what do we think? Do we have any information?
Well, first, I'm going to say, the first thing I will say is that I don't have any inside information, none. I have not spoken to, nor do I plan on speaking to anyone from Southern University. So if what you guys are wanting is how do we get here? Hell, I do not know. I'm in the dark just like everybody else.
Sure.
So there are going to be other aspects of this that we will have to talk about, but nobody knows. It's not our business, though. It's really not. you know, it's good fodder for social media, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got here. I wish I could tell you, but I do not speak for them. I don't speak for anybody but me right now. Let me first say that. I speak for Shawnee Pooh. And look, that's it. That's it. I am not talking for Southern. I am not talking for PV. I am not talking for all, you know, me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know how we got here. I don't know. We'll be wondering that unless they come out and make a statement and tell us. We're never.
Which I doubt will happen at this point because there's lawyers involved. So I don't know that either group will really be making official statements.
Sure.
I don't know. It's been a couple, a live or two from one side. So I mean, that might be all we get though, because at this point, it's a legal thing. So,
but it's like, okay, so on the subject of how did we get here, is it necessary to be here? So how do we think in terms of, I mean, we see it every day, and we kind of talked about it a little bit last night, but having different organizations where this dance team, auxiliary, what have you, there are going to be names. And I think that a lot of them are collegiate. When it comes to the HBCU dance world, collegiate dance line, that is our top. That is our top level. So people are working or that are knowledgeable of it are aspiring to get to said dance teams, auxiliaries, and be able to fulfill those organizations. So it's kind of like it's brick by brick by brick. So are we okay with using the same dance team, auxiliary team names? Is it a no-go? Should it be? Does it matter? Not into the sense of saying like, oh yeah, like I'm a SU dancing doll. Not saying that, not perpetrating, but just saying like, oh yeah, our name is the Dancing Dolls, or our name is the Baby Black Foxes, or whatever the case may be, because that's what we aspire to be. Is that okay, or is it not okay?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just me, Shawnee Pooh talking. He doesn't think that there's anything wrong with that. But you guys got to look at it from this point of view. It's almost just like BMI ASCAP. You know, they don't want you playing their music in to make money. So, say for example, you go into a restaurant. And I've been in a restaurant when it's happened and they're playing music and somebody comes in and he looks all like he's an investigator of some sort. And he's like, you're going to have to turn that off. And it's somebody from a BMI ASCAP representative, right? Who's saying you haven't paid your BMI ASCAP fees. So since you have not paid them, you are in here in a business that is making money. So you cannot play this music, right? So also, if businesses have live music, they still have to pay BMI ASCAP fees. So it's the same concept. It's the same concept. It's not that we care how many teams are called dancing dolls. Imitation is how's it go? What's the saying? Flattery and all that. Yeah,
form of flattery or something like that.
It's flattering. Yeah.
So then should that be worth to it?
When you start, shouldn't it be what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, say there's a little like delay between us sometimes. So every once in a while, like I can't hear what you say, but yeah.
No, I was gonna say, so should that be worked in? So should it be part of, like if said organization decides to name their team after whoever has already been established, should that be formed into some type of paperwork or an agreement or saying like, hey, is it okay if little team from Timbuktu wants to use their name? Should they have to go and be like, hey, can we have permission, or is it not that big of a deal?
That would be a logistical nightmare.
Fair.
But then my question becomes, where do you draw the line? Like, if you have the name, but you're not making money, we don't care. But if you are, we do. I mean, how do we know? Like,
so then that
did they set out to be big and blow up and get a Lifetime show? I don't know. But when are these fees applicable? If we're saying it's not, that would be a logistical nightmare. Having the same name is not that big of a deal. But then you have to decide when it does become a big deal, when you should be paying dues.
Yeah, these teams, they wear paraphernalia, they sell merchandise with their team name on it. Y'all, I don't know. I know a little bit. I did some research. I don't know exactly the law. I don't know, maybe a patent and trademark attorney. Y'all know Alex is a trademark attorney, huh, Maya?
Which Alex?
Alex.
Oh, Alex. Yeah. Oh yeah, she is. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. She's a trademark attorney. We talk about this all the time. Yeah, she and I talk all the time, but I don't know, not just do I not know the law, I don't know the spirit of the law. And so I can't, it's hard for me to answer that. I think that, if somebody's making $1,000 off of some t-shirts or having a competition or something, and then somebody's making $1 million, I don't know. I really don't know where you draw the line or how you decide,
So moving forward, do we think that let's just say across the line, all HBCU dance lines, auxiliaries, I mean, even the marching bands, should they start getting their coins together to go ahead and start trademarking everything that belongs to them? Dance,
they already have.
I think you have to start, even if this wasn't part of your thought process. You have to now, because this is a thing, and my philosophy is, some lessons I don't need to learn directly. I see what's happening over there. We need to figure out what our strategy is, because it could be somebody else that comes up with a name that starts to, now that people see that there's potential money in this thing, it might be people out here plotting on all kinds of band program names and section names stuff now, because this thing has capped off. It has brought it to people's attention. So I
mean, look how many bands out there, how many high school bands out there that are named the Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
A lot. I posted on my Facebook week before last that uniform from the Ocean of Soul out in New Jersey, and I was like, "Yo, really?" So yeah, people are gonna start to pay more attention to it. What's the fallout gonna be? I don't know. I don't know what the fallout's gonna be, because I can tell you, attorneys got better things to do than to go all, start going after all these little bitty peasy, these little these people that are, taking our names and doing things and whatnot. It's hard to say now. Here in Houston, we got a Sonic Boom. Hey, Kayvon. Hey. We got a Sonic Boom here. What if Kayvon's band gets a TV show? Then what? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. And I really wish that there was a fourth person, somebody who could, really who had some more insight, because, I just know the basics. I know the facts. That's all I know. But people's motivation for deciding who they go after and who they don't, I don't know. But I will tell you, I already checked. And Maya, we straight. Black Foxes, the application has been put in. We good to go.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Right.
So go ahead.
I'm interested in your opinion as somebody who is a doll, because I have my opinion, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form connected to this. But I would be interested to know when you found out about this, like, what was your thought, your reaction? Like,
are you offended? Are you ready to fight, Miss Shawn? Like, like where are we?
I am so grown. I do not have time to sit here and fight people over stuff. I don't. To me, my first thought was I knew this was going to happen sooner or later.
Really? I had never even like.
You know why? You know why? Because look at where we are right now.
Okay.
HBCU marching bands and HBCU dance teams and performance teams are more popular now with mainstream than ever.
True.
So, thank you, Miss Williams. Thank you, Don Roberts. Thank you, Jimmy R.O. Smith. Thank you. We are more popular now than ever. And we didn't have to worry about this before.
Right.
Because we were simply the halftime entertainment. That was it. We are now more than the halftime entertainment. And universities have to protect their assets. And so, and again, I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know what the motivation was, but in my mind, I have been saying over and over again, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen just with the dance teams alone. Okay, so 2006, that's before I met Portia. Coaching at South Carolina State. All right. And the band director, Mr. Eddie Ellis, he was one of the first band directors to say, if you record my band, I'm going on YouTube and I'm yanking all of them down. I'm reporting all of them. All of them. And we were like, what? Report? Are you serious? Like all of that exposure, all of that, we want to be on YouTube like everybody. Think about where we were in 2006, right? And he was the first one to do it. And they thought he was crazy. And so what he did was he aligned himself with one videographer and said, this is my videographer. Only this videographer can record anything of South Carolina State Marching 101. Period. And then he reporting folks, snatching it down, and he was ahead of his time because we were all like, what? We like being on YouTube. What you talking about? And now look where we are. And people have come in and taken what we do and it has gone mainstream. And go out there, because y'all might, Portia, go out there and look at all them videos. Every 1,000 views, cha-ching, cha-ching, every 1,000 views, right?
So, okay, Miss Shawn, we got yours. Portia, how you feel about it?
I see both sides of it. Like, on the one hand, like I said yesterday, I don't know. I've never had, somebody standing in front of me with a silkette shirt on that wasn't part of my section. Like, I've never had that. So I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know what my feeling would be in that situation. I don't know that I would be, if it's high school, okay, I just want you to be good. That's kind of my thing. I don't know if I would feel different if they were making money off of it. I would probably feel different. I don't know, but I've never had that situation. The only thing I say is, and I know times have changed, but 20 years of them having the name, or this long period of time of them having the name, I don't know. If I was her, I probably would feel some type of way too. Like, why the hell y'all coming to me now? Why y'all come messing with me now? Like, I've been had this name. Like, if it was a problem, it should have been a problem 10, 20
listen. No. Let me tell you, she is 100% entitled to her feelings about it.
Right.
100% entitled to her feelings. And so nobody is saying that she's not. She's 100% entitled. But you know what the difference is? The difference is that's what the difference is. Yeah, I mean, come on now. I mean, it's not that difficult. But that's what the difference is.
Y'all wasn't worried about me when I wasn't making real money, and I would feel some type of way. Like,
yeah, but the universities, HBCUs at the time, did not see us in that light. Do you understand? Like,
I get it, but what I'm saying is, if I'm putting myself in her shoes, I'm tight. I'm mad because I've had this name and been trading on this name, hosting events, TV shows, all of this on this name. And y'all show up here on this random day in May of 2022 talking about cease and desist. Excuse me? I'm pissed off if I'm her.
I bet you. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would be pissed off if I wasn't her. But I'm just saying, look, if you go, anybody can go onto the uspto.gov site and look this stuff up. It's out there for everybody to see. And so you understand why over the last between 2015 and 2018, Dancing Dolls was actually licensed or trademarked by Lifetime. And it was trademarked for merchandise. Okay. So they put everything. They was like cups, socks, t-shirts, granny hats, whatever. Okay, they sucker for everything. I mean, they trademarked it for merchandise, right? From around 2015 to around 2018. After 2018, which is when I believe the show wasn't renewed, if I'm not mistaken, they abandoned it. And right after they abandoned it, Southern went in and trademarked it. So you have to kind of look at the whole story. You just can't look at that one little piece. You kind of have to look at the whole story. And there was a time frame that Southern could not have trademarked it.
Right.
Okay. So that accounts for that. But what happened before then, nobody cared. We weren't doing anything important. Nobody was. We was going to dance class. Nobody was feeling us like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until 2014, 2015 that you know, I mean, okay, nobody was out there using our name to make money, right? Nobody. Not anything significant. But during the time that things started ramping up, it was trademarked by somebody else, right? Okay, because trust and believe. People from Southern complained. I did. All the dolls did. It was like, what? You know, what? Yeah, this don't feel right, you know? But now we know the truth. Now we know it was trademarked by Lifetime. So we didn't understand. And most of us don't really understand trademark law. We don't really get it. We don't understand all of the ins and outs of trademark, you know, patent law and trademark law. So that's why I say I'm not saying that she or any of her fans should not feel some kind of way. The problem that I have is the nastiness that has resulted. That part I don't, because I have read some things that from people that you could have sworn they was diehard Dancing Doll, be doing Dancing Doll counts, be just diehard. Now all of a sudden, you know, we trash, the band trash, the school trash, everything's trash. Wait now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that is a part that me the most. I think all of the legal stuff will work itself out. I think they'll work it out.
But then my
But
additional
because
question becomes, if they trademarked it in 2018, after that, it's 2022. Why the cease and desist now? I know you can't answer that, but it just
I
seems like
can't
it's
answer
out.
that. I don't
Right.
know.
And I think that that's what it all comes back down to, because even still, now, mind you, I've been looking at the DD4L websites, because when it comes down to even the payroll and all those types of things, I'm trying to figure out, okay, was she just putting dancing doll on everything? It's not like, well, from my understanding, she was not using the same graphics as the Southern University dancing dolls. That payroll is only available to y'all, correct? Like, I can't go in the store and buy a Southern University dancing doll shirt. Only dancing dolls are able to access that payroll. So that makes me question, like, okay, so one, why now? It's not like she was using the graphics. Everything that I'm looking at, and possibly some of this stuff could have been taken down following up these acts, but everything says DD4L. Everything, nothing really says dancing doll. And then also, it's just like, I mean,
isn't it red? Most of that stuff is red.
It's a totally different color, but outside of all of it, I cannot be mad at her. Like, if you come to me, then now I have to show you who I am. If you try my hand, then now I have to show you, like, okay, so I can understand, like, okay, well, shit, you want to play the hard game. Let me get this paperwork. Now, whether
but for me, mm-hmm. Y'all know, I tell y'all this all the time. I'm old school. I'm old, and I don't get into this. Take everything and, you know, blast people, you know, go live on Instagram, and I don't get into that. That's not me. That's not my lifestyle. That's not my generation.
Right.
You know, I feel like
go ahead, Michelle. Go ahead. I feel like part of it is she's getting some of the same thing that you're saying people are saying about Southern. It's people on the internet dragging her because, you know, Southern has a cult following. We talk about that all the time, like cult following, like of all the bands in all the world. It's a whole group of people that pledge allegiance to you know, the U. Mm-hmm. So she's getting some of that same stuff. It is people saying all kinds of stuff about that lady. So
no doubt it is messy. It no doubt, and I don't condone any of that. And I don't like none of it. It is. I had to leave. I was in the Rough and the Swag group. I had to leave it. I couldn't take it. I was just like, no, this is this is not why I'm trying to live. I ain't trying to live like this. So I don't even participate in those groups. I don't engage in groupieism. I don't. You know, I love what I do, and of course I'm gonna always love you know, the dolls, and you know, you only got so many times, you know, to come and trash dolls in front of me. But what I'm saying is, I did, you know, this is not the doll's fault, and so this is not like they were talking about, but the babies and, you know, the kids that go to these school, you know, go to their classes and stuff. This is not their fault. It's not their fault. And so I wish I had a better answer. I just don't like the nastiness of it all. I feel like the attorneys should get together and work that mess out. I just every situation has a solution. Somebody knows why. We just don't know why.
Right. And the thing about it is, the reason it's gotten here is because, of course, nobody knows the whole situation. There is no way for us to know end to end what has happened behind closed doors. And it's just that one clip for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of, you know, as Black folks, we like messy stuff. You know, it's entertaining. Hi, girl, did you see that? Did you see the meme that came off of this? Yes, I rewound it and watched it a couple times because it's funny. Doesn't necessarily mean, you know, I agree or disagree, but that's what happens when you decide to put media into it. It can either make you or it can break you, and I feel like that's just where we are now. So again, it's just like, okay, so now what? Like, like now what? Where do
I'm seeing some messages. I'm seeing some messages, y'all. They're saying that the application has already been abandoned. I don't know that for sure. I can go into the
application for what has been abandoned is what I want to know. For the fabulous piece of it. Is that what we're saying?
All pieces, or just that's a good question. Is it just the fabulous part, or
because that's the piece she went after, was the fabulous.
Well, but do you know why the dolls started using fabulous?
No, enlighten us, Miss.
That ain't my story. I don't know.
Please do.
I mean, it's very simple. They started. I told y'all, Lifetime trademarked dancing dolls.
Oh, so that has not always been a thing.
No, we were not always the fabulous dancing dolls. That was one, at least not to my recollection, memory.
Okay.
So they saying she's abandoned the fabulous piece. So, I mean, to Maya's point, what's next? Like, is she supposed to rebrand her whole business?
No, I don't think so.
But that's what a cease and desist means. She can't.
I'm looking up the letter.
I don't know what that means. I sent one cease and desist letter in my life. And yeah, it meant stop doing something. The question is, stop doing what?
Right.
It said, okay, please, dear Miss Williams, please accept this communication as an immediate cease and desist request relative to improper use of the Dancing Dolls trade name on your following web pages. And there's a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 web pages associated. That's the only screenshot that I see. So improper use. What is that? Like, what was happening? What was she improperly using, or what is the definition behind improper use?
Y'all have to tell me that. Do you think Sean watches? Shawnee Pooh does not watch that stuff.
But see, that's the thing. I don't agree. Well, this is hard because that goes back to what I was saying. It's not like anytime that I've heard Dancing Dolls or DD4L, they've been separate. Like when we talk about Lifetime, when we talk about Bring It, the majority of the time they're referred to as DD4L. Majority of the time, Southern University is referred to as the Dancing Dolls. Those two are grouped together. So in terms of improper use, and maybe we need a lawyer on the line, because to me, improper use would be, okay, she's using the same graphics, she's using the same font, she's using what have you, and using it because she is not a part of that organization. Anything aside from the fact
she's making a lot of money. Okay. Oh no!
So no. Okay.
You want me to call Alex?
Cease. Okay, I'm about to put improper use cease and desist letter.
That's right. You better Google.
I mean,
I need to know.
I see, like I said, I see both sides of this. Like
No, I mean, to be quite honest, you know, okay, it's her way. It's her way, but I didn't even watch that video. Watch it, because that shit would have messed me off. Okay, so I didn't watch it. I don't. That's not my way. That's not my way of doing things. That's not my way of communicating. That's not my way. And so I just didn't even watch it. But from what everybody was telling me about the video, it wasn't. It was, it wasn't nice. So again, I know, upset, hurt, dismayed, all those emotions, all those feelings. And so, yeah, you lash out. And I get that part. I get that. And she's entitled to that. But I just, that's not my thing. And I don't circle in that. And so I stayed away from that part. And that's why I went to the database and just started looking stuff up, you know. But you know, like I said, I don't speak for them. I don't speak for Southern. There's just no way. There's no way you can really understand it or know it outside of what we know about the law. I don't know.
I mean, to me, you shouldn't. To me, logically speaking, you're either shutting everybody down or you're shutting nobody down. I mean, because
not logical. What about that is logical? Do you know how many teams out there named Decimals?
But what do you mean by that? What do you mean shutting everybody down and shutting nobody down?
I mean, if she can't use the name, then nobody should be able to use the name.
Because it wasn't already trademarked or finalized or prior to?
I'm saying if you sending out cease and desist for her using the name, then you need to find all these high schools and send it to them, because what's the difference? I know the money is the difference, but how you gonna pick and choose? How you know how much those high schools raking in?
I mean, I feel you. My only thing with that is we can assume that we ain't seen the high schools in a lifetime. That would be my only. I feel where you're coming from. Like, okay, like if we're gonna do a cease and desist, then everybody needs to stop. But I think the only thing is they're not a threat. Like these other little high schools from Timbuktu and what are not a threat. This lady that got this whole entity, got this whole empire, and has been building on such for years.
So we penalizing her for being business savvy.
I mean,
that's what we doing.
Look. I get it. I get where the disconnect was. The business started in 2001. The show came 15 years later. And so instead of trademarking her team's name back in 2001, like you trying to tell us, why you ain't trademarking back then? What's the same question with her? I mean, if she didn't trademark it back then, you know, you could absolutely, you could ask the same question. Okay, so the business started on this day. 15 years later, the show came. Wasn't nobody thinking about, ooh, well, what about this name? You know, I've had this name for 15 years, but that name belongs to an HBCU dance team. So you mean to tell me that conversation didn't happen? Come on now. So,
but I mean, who's to think that the Kings gonna be worried about me? Why would the Kings be worried about me?
Girl, do you know how broke HBCUs are?
They hadn't been worried about me.
No, I'm just saying, why should? No, because they didn't know anything about her, so they couldn't be worried. They couldn't be worried. They didn't know anything. And look, once again, I do not speak for any university, none whatsoever.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. To me,
I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works. I don't know how it works. And so I'm not speaking for nobody. So I want everybody to understand that. But I guess what I'm saying is I'm using, to me, like every time we go in circles about this, I keep thinking about my earlier example about BMI ASCAP. It is the same reason that schools and certain school performances and artist music qualify under fair use, because it is for educational purposes, right? And so we don't have to pay. We don't have to pay because it is considered fair use for educational purposes, right? Now, the minute we go to and perform in a battle of the bands, where the person who's running the battle of the bands is making what? money. Yeah. Guess what? The organizers of the Battle of the Band have to pay licensing fees. That is why they ask us before we even get there, they ask us what songs are we playing, because they have to go clear those songs. It happened the same way with March. Same way with March. If you notice certain songs, could you say that again? I am not talking to you. I'm having trouble hearing you. If my phone is talking to me, y'all. Okay, so but it's the same way with March, right? If you notice, there's some songs are not heard on the show.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they ain't want to play. They don't want to pay them licensing fee. Boy, let me tell you, there's some people, they real proud of their music, boy, because it was expensive. And so, so there's some music you won't hear on March. So it's the same concept. So when y'all are talking about this, I apply it to that. I apply that example to it. I'm trying to keep it about the business side and not about the emotional side.
Fair. So, okay, let's say my thought now is we just said the reason why Miss Diana has been targeted is because of the grand scheme of the money, the leverage, the entertainment that has gone on for years and years and years. So let's say all dance teams, auxiliaries, bands, whomever start to trademark or continue to trademark their names and things like that. The odds are there's not going to be another team. Well, I never say never, but it's a million people that move to LA and New York every single day and every single year, and only a piece of them make it, right? So I'm saying on the grander scheme of things, if there's another Black Fox team that's from Lulu, Louisiana, I don't know, the fact that they're making it, so where do we draw the line of who gets called out for what? So now is there a need to actually do it? Because if there's probably not going to be that many more teams who are going to be able to capitalize off of these names and make the money.
Is that a chance? Is that a chance you want to take?
I mean, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. And that's just, I'm just putting it out there again. I don't know if it's playing devil's advocate or what have you, but it's just like,
yeah, what it costs? It costs what, $800 to trademark something. That's, to me, that's an acceptable. If you do it yourself. Now, if you get an attorney to do it, yeah, it's going to cost more money. But I mean, that's an acceptable risk.
Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so obviously we're talking about dancing dolls. Fine, no problem. Yeah. But there is a difference between the technique, the style of dance. Can styles of dance be trademarked? Can the look of the thing be trademarked? Because
let's get into that.
I mean, right? Because if we want to talk about it, Jason, all of those things, like that's always been there. Now, DD4L, I don't care what anybody says. Excuse me. There has been a difference within the past 20 years or 19, 21 years, however long that DD4L has been in play, that the community has changed. Right now, everybody want to book. Everybody want to scrub the ground. Everybody want to wear fringe on fringe on fringe. Everybody want to stand battle. Everybody want to buck or die, battle for life, all those different things. I done seen more community dance teams pop out of the woodworks than I done ever seen in life. So
and it's a lot more of these college squads doing what she was doing when she started, when that show went up, because some of these college squads wasn't doing all that. And then her show got popular. So what does that mean for her?
That's true. Now, if we want to talk about putting a trademark on something, is that possible? Can you trademark that? Can you put that on, like, put that on a shirt? Shit.
Right.
Can you put what on the shirt? Can you trademark what? Scrub the ground?
Anything. Can you like, I'm just saying the fact that she took that style and ran with it and made it more popular than what it already was, because there's a dramatic difference in what we see now in terms of HBCU culture or dance culture, community dance line culture.
Yeah.
In the past 20 years than prior to Miss Diana and the Dancing Dog, DD4L specifically, hitting the market or hitting YouTube. Because first it started with YouTube. She had been doing parades, been doing special, performances here and there, going to different universities. Well, there was also a Honda performance. There's been special, everything. But that is what has really changed the game for a lot of people. So can she trademark that? Can that be trademarked? Or how do we feel about that? Because I think that that's something that a lot of people don't bring to light, is that whether you like the lady or not, the influence and the power that it's absolutely there. Whether we're going to talk about entertainment value, whatever.
Well, I will tell you what I know about the little that I know about dance and trademarking. You can trademark dance works. So say, for example, we wanted to trademark the entirety of let's see, shoot, dang, Maya, when you name a song you dance to? We can't even
just went out my ear. What was that Chris Brown song? Lord, I can't listen to it to this day. China.
Fine China.
Yeah. Okay. Fine China. Okay. So say we wanted to take the choreography of Fine China, right? Mm-hmm. And we wanted to trademark that. We could. It's an original work. Okay. All right. So it's original body of work. It's original body of work. It's original choreography. But not today, you cannot trademark dance moves. If y'all remember last year, what's his real name? Alfonso Ribeiro tried to trademark the Carlton and could not. He was turned down. He couldn't. So you can't trademark those moves. You can't. When you say scrub the ground, what do you mean? Bucking? Is that what you're talking about?
I feel like bucking is one thing.
You can't trademark bucking.
My groin is on the ground. My hips.
Right.
I'm talking about
extreme. So you cannot trademark. So you can't trademark bucking. Okay, you can't. We can't trademark. I don't know, but single moves. We can't trademark those today. Okay. Today, I personally believe that the dance trademarking law is kind of behind the times, And if y'all remember, there's this choreographer, choreographs for Megan and for Beyonce. I can't remember the man's name. But he started a company to help these TikTok trend makers trademark their trends. And he started a company. I haven't heard much about it since he first did it, so I don't know how it's going, but I can look that up at some point. But
it just went in the comments.
I was gonna say Jaquel Knight.
Jaquel Knight. That's right.
Trying to find it on my side too.
Thank you. Jaquel Knight. And he started a company to help these people trademark their trends because, of course, y'all know people were getting paid, were getting promoted, going on TV, all this stuff, doing other people's trends, right?
That lady. Mm-hmm.
But again, you're talking a trend. You're talking about a piece of dance moves to make a body of work. But you can't trademark the whoa. You can't. Did I do that right? Okay. So yeah, you can't. So you can't trademark the whoa. It's just one little move. You can't do that. So, but like I said, I believe trademarking in dance is behind the times. That's just my personal opinion. So yeah. can we trademark the style? You can't. You can't.
Okay. So so we've been talking about trademarking a lot. Now let's take it more so into the dance technique side of the thing, right? So what's next, right? Because I mean, honestly, to me, if we talk about HBCU dance, no matter who has perpetuated, whether it's band heads, stands, Twitter finger peoples, or not, when you think about the culture itself, to me, I believe that right now, bucking and the like are more prominent than technique. Technique is trying to make a comeback. But can we say, or do you agree or disagree that Miss Diana, DD4L, and that culture kind of overtook that, and now the girls are playing not necessarily catch up, but oh, that's hot in the streets right now. Let me try and give me a piece of that because that's what's popular.
I believe that when the show was on,
okay,
it 100%, 100%. Like it was. I mean, look at what it has spawned. Explosives, all these different teams, all all these competitions, and I mean, it's huge. And those, a lot of those competitions are still going on. It's just that we don't hear about them as much. When the show was on, we used to hear about all that stuff, but we don't hear about that stuff as much anymore. It doesn't mean they're not still going on, because they are. But we don't hear about it as much. We don't get to see it on TV as much. I don't know what that means for the style. I don't know what that, if it means that the style is going to kind of fade and maybe, dip and come back and dip. I don't know. I don't know what that means, because I've dealt with 2 young ladies that came from the majorette style, and we had to make them foxes. So but the thing about it was, we were able to take things that they brought to us from the majorette style and incorporate it into the fox style, and it worked out. It worked out really well. But it's just hard to say. But when the show was out, I can't tell you how many majorette competitions I judged. Yeah. So it was a lot. I mean, it just took off. I mean, it's a style that you don't necessarily have to have technique. So you opened it up to a broader range of dancers, and so everybody's dancing. That's a good thing. Everybody's dancing. Now, I don't know if everybody should be scrubbing the ground, but everybody's dancing.
I mean, everybody is dancing, but
yes,
everybody dancing the same. Kind of. I said everybody is dancing, but everybody. Well, and that's what I'm saying. We can pick that apart. Okay. Everybody is, the more people that are dancing, whether it's how you identify, what have you, are dancing. And yes, we love that. That's what we've always wanted, people to be able to dive into the art, whether it's on a technical basis, whether it's you learned it from YouTube or you went to study it. Just get out there and move. However that makes you feel. But I think also it makes a lot of things are looking more similar because of it. Because I say that because right now it's just what we know, especially this generation, TikTok generation, YouTube generation, Instagram generation. That's what they know, and that's what has been most accessible to them. So to them, that has been the most palatable, and it's just kind of what their minds automatically go to. When I think about dancing, when I think about this, that, and the third, I think about that. I think about battling. I think about stands. I think about scrubbing the ground, to say the least. I mean, and we can agree or disagree or what have you, but I don't know what y'all think.
Come on,
we don't have to put it on HBCU dancing. We ain't got to pick that apart today. We ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do that today. But I'm just saying, in general, I think that kind of comes with the territory because, like I said, there have been more community teams than I've ever seen. But all of those community teams, or at least what I have experienced, have all been very, very similar, and they are going off of that majorette style, but majorette style on crack, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it's to what we said. It's a lot of these. That show came out. And the style did change. And I mean, the show hasn't been on since 2018 or so. It's 2022, and I don't see it diminishing a lot. I don't know that I see it on the field, but the stands, that style is more prominent than it ever was in HBCU, in my opinion. With the stuff that people are doing in the stands, and it's a lot more gushing. It's a lot more stuff that, in the words of Miss Inez Howard, wouldn't have been ladylike. Back, when I was in the band, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot more, even with the attire, it's a lot more revealing to me than what I was used to. The stomach might be out, they might have on some shorts, but it be, all kinds of stuff going on now. And I'd be like, well, Lord, they naked. And to me, that kind of came from that style. I mean, because it was not prominent when I was marching. It's a lot. The culture has shifted, but I think it has a lot more to do with that style, but also getting likes. And I don't know that it's going anywhere because, like we said last show, and I don't want to dive down this rabbit hole again, but that's what people are paying attention to. I think it's a lot more technique, or difference in dance styles happening on the field. But in those stands, it's all starting to look alike.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard, it's hard not to lean, or because one of the things about thank you for that comment. But y'all, it's hard. It's because everybody and social media and videographers have played a part in that. We're going to talk about that before we get off of here tonight. Okay. We need to talk about that. But has played because everybody wants the attention. Everybody wants to be featured. Everybody wants this commentary from all these people. And so they start to go, like you say, they start to go down this rabbit hole, and they start, and look, me personally, I have rules. We do not butt twirl to the camera or to the audience. We do not butt twirl for more than 2 counts. We're not, I'm serious. I have rules, because if I didn't, they'd be doing all of that. No, we're not doing that. And look, I don't have a problem with people with teams that want to do that. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But we have a style that people expect from us. We have, an audience. We have a university. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be careful what we put out there. So, but it's hard. I ain't gonna lie. It is really, really hard. And it's a lot more work on my part, because I have to sit and watch all of those stand routines and just be like, nope, yes, nope, yes, nope, nope, cut it. That's me. They'll be like, Miss John,
but you're doing that. It can't be a lot of that happening. Because what I'm going to tell you right now is some of this stuff is sex with clothes on. I'm going to tell you I'm going to call a spade a spade. We dressing it up, but that's what it is. Some of this stuff, I'm like, well, Lord, where are we at? Is this a football game, or we at the... Okay. No. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, but to me that style was a lot more gyrating, hip thrusting, sensual, sexy. That was more what that was. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. But that's why I was like, okay, I feel where you're going for it, but I think that's a whole nother topic. That's a topic in and of itself. That's a show in and of itself, because I think that goes to what's allowed is what is going to continue. And just like you said, that's Miss Shawn. Miss Shawn is the one that says, okay, yes, no, yes, no. Everybody not doing that. So that's why I said, okay, let's hold that thought. You see, Dance, I saw your comment as well. I'm with you when you're right. That's a whole nother show. We got to take our time to delegate towards qualified. What is the definition of qualified? Who is overseeing all of those things? Let's table that discussion, because I think all of that goes with that topic. That's just me.
Yes.
So I feel you. I'm right here.
I agree.
I'm with you. But that's something that we're gonna have to uncover. Stay tuned, friends, because that's
okay, because that could be the next show. Credentials and qualifications.
That is
do you have them or no?
Hold. Yeah, I might be out of town. I'm just like,
man, Shawn, you an individual on this thread. You just but I feel you. That's why I say sometimes, topics are gonna get a little bit heavy. It's gonna get a little tough because our friends and the like or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little tough. But I would tell you this, and here we go, shameless plug. This is the reason that the association exists. We need to train. We need to train coaches, and we need to be there for one another to kind of work through all of these issues, because it's not a one size fits all answer. It's not. And so we're just kind of there to listen and to help people come to their own decisions at what's best for their team, and it's not the same for everybody. And some, it's not the same for every school. Some schools are more tolerant than others, you know what I mean? Of certain styles and certain things. So you have to, that's part of our mission, is to be a support for coaches as they work through that and figure it all out. But I will admit, some of the younger coaches haven't quite gotten to that point yet. They want to do what they want to do, and but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. As long as I is the coach.
Miss Shawn, I feel you. I want to keep talking about it so bad, but yeah, no, yeah, okay. We're gonna have to sit that aside, because that's a whole conundrum. That's a whole thing in and of itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's next?
Yeah. No, Alex was gonna come on the show, but she said she was gonna give us some trademark knowledge, but she said but I can tell her she don't have to turn her camera on.
If she wants to, for sure. I mean, it's totally, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we're here for the long run. If we need to tag in a part 2, we can totally do that. That way we can have ample preparation. And also, as we continue to get more information as this unfolds, we could possibly have a follow-up. So I think that's doable.
You should see this picture she just sent me.
I'm sure. Is it of her or is it of me?
No, it's of this cat with his hair all up in the air. And she is saying that's what she looks like.
Okay. No problem, sister girl. I got you. I feel you.
She said, yeah, she said she can do part 2 and 3.
Okay, let's do that. We'll do that. We'll table the discussion from here. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, but okay, but here's what do y'all feel about, and we're gonna bounce back a little bit, because like I said, we are in an era an uncharted era in terms of the popularity of HBCU performers, bands, auxiliary, all of that. But, you know, like I say, these videographers out here, you know, making lots of money. Some of them not making a lot. You know, but I bet you there's probably one or two that's doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And look, don't get me wrong, I'm not against nobody hustling and making money. And there really are some teams out there that, you know, like the exposure and can use, you know, they are willing to say, okay, well, you know, we're not getting nothing out of it, but we are getting the exposure, right? Where's the line? Where do we draw the line? You know,
draw the line of who can record and who can't, or draw which line?
Yeah, that line. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because
that's what you opened up this can of worms, because now you have to discuss any Joe Smo. I mean, because even if you tell them don't bring a camera, they can bring their phone and put it on a little tripod. Like how do you stop that? I mean, you could assign somebody to go take it down. See, this has opened up a whole can of worms. Like, you know, not just the name, but to me, you know, some high schools when I was around used to use other people's choreography. So choreography, I don't know if they still do it now. Then you got these videos, you got, you know, I mean, where do we go with this? You know what I'm saying? Are you saying if this videographer is making too much money? I mean, Justin in the comments, I mean, his clips kind of go up. So are we saying that now Showtime, you know, all these different pages cannot you know, display our content? So what does that look like?
But see, that's all the different things, because all publicity is not necessarily good publicity. Right. But then we say, okay, but how do we get the culture? How do we get the style? How do we get awareness out there? We cannot do it in this day and age without the fact of media. Then you say, okay, well, we've also seen schools who have designated media teams, and that
some of them have production teams that don't sound like that in person, but I'm not going to go there. Y'all go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I had secondhand embarrassment. Oh, okay. No, oh Lord Jesus, y'all on fire tonight. Okay.
Some of it ain't media. Some of them is putting together full productions, and by the time it hit Beyonce's internet, it don't sound like what it sounds like in that stadium.
Jesus Christ, not on Beyonce's internet, exactly. You got some schools where it's like, okay, well, only these said people can release. I don't want to say trademark media, but these people can only release our media or our footage or what have you, and nobody else can. But then it's like, okay, well, does that go against what we said earlier? Do we need to keep providing footage? Because at one point in time it was, all the band clips were only just horns and up. No, the lines and the flags and auxiliaries were not getting any coverage. So it's like, okay, well, how do you beat that? But then it's like, okay, well, this isn't just the day and the age of where we're at now. You can't really stop nobody. Because like you said, if I bring my phone I got a 13 iPhone Pro Max 6 Plus, whatever the case may be, it records just as well as a Canon GX 765. You know, like you can't tell me I can't bring my phone into the stadium. Right. So again, I don't know where you stop it at, because it's just kind of
it's
but blurry, are we gonna say that, oh well, you're making money off of this, like you have, you know, a million hits, so we want your money? Is that the standard now? Is that what we're saying? If you profiting off us, we want a piece, but if you got 10 people watching, we don't care?
But that kind of goes back to what I was thinking earlier, or what we were talking about earlier. Who knows what's gonna go viral? Like,
right? How do you know?
If I trademark Maya's Pizza, right? And somebody else decides to do Maya's Pizza, and it goes viral, and mine isn't making no money. Nobody knew. That's a gamble that you have to take. Nobody knows that just because Justin put out his video versus Justina put out her video. Justina may have two followers, but her shit goes to 2 million views, and Justin's I mean, I'm not being funny, Justin, but Justin's may get 200 views, but he's an established name. So it's like, well, shit, what? Where do you win? You can't win.
You don't. But again, I personally, I just think that there is a time is going to come. We're going to be tested on this issue, and I have been saying that for years. Year before last, I had a virtual social media summit. It was a 3-day summit. And one of those days we talked to the independent videographers and kind of hashed around some of these issues. Sorry, Justin, you weren't there. I didn't know you then, but I know you now, so you'll be in the next one. So, but we actually had a 3-day social media summit, and we talked about this. And at some point, band directors are going to just get flat out tired of it. And you know, when you start seeing some of the stuff that goes on, and it's like, okay, we got to put some guidelines down. At first it's going to be guidelines, and then, you know, we going to have to do this, you know, come to an agreement, because like I'll be real honest with y'all. Much first, until I saw Beychella. Then it pissed me off. You know.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, you broke up. What did you say?
I said it didn't bother me at first.
Okay.
And then I saw Beychella.
Okay.
And there's these videos of dance teams on Beyonce's thing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call us. They didn't call the Dolls. They didn't call Alabama A&M and ask them permission. They did not. Those people. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, people are ecstatic to be in Beyonce's show. So don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But they were not asked.
Well, some of them were. Two of them girls, and one or two of them girls was Hot Ice. Not current Hot Ice, but they was Hot Ice.
No,
she's talking about the clips that were laid in.
Segment.
Oh, I see what you were saying.
They showed the clips.
People?
Huh?
So who were they? They just were dancers, or who were they?
They showed clips of Southern. They showed Alabama.
Oh, they pulled actual dance lines and didn't get permission.
Yeah, it was actual
that's wrong. See, that ain't a name or nothing else. This is our footage that you've used. But see, we put it out there as free game. It's all on the internet. It's all out there. I mean, we not, you know, holding people accountable to this day. So she probably felt like she could use it, or whoever felt like they could use it without getting permission. But my thing is now.
But part of the discussion has to be, and this is the discussion that we don't want to talk about. When do I lose control of my likeness? Y'all see what I'm saying? So when somebody comes into the stadium and they record me, who owns my likeness, me or them? And I tried to ask that question over and over again, and nobody had an answer for me. Who owns me? And I got all kinds. Well, it's a public place. So, you know, if we come in.
Justin said they did ask for permission to use those.
Really? Who they asked?
You see, Dan says they asked the videographers, I think, but that ain't who you asked to use no footage or no program. You got to ask that band director, who has to ask that university.
They asked the videographers.
But that brings up a good point, because Ms. Shawn, you said who owns me, right? What we talked about a little bit last week is that's something that a lot of these girls, people, whomever, persons that join these organizations aren't prepared for. We see clips in the media about, oh, this person got slapped on the train, and someone videotaped it. This is just an example, but you put me on the internet. I did not give you permission to necessarily film me, but here it is, and now it's gone viral. Who does have the rights?
Who's the right? Who has the rights?
Oh Lord, we gotta put that on the ballot to ask Alex too, because I don't know. I don't know.
But my question then becomes, he said they asked the videographers. Well, I don't mean no harm. They don't call no shots around here. I mean, I couldn't even say as the coordinator, yeah, you can use it. I gotta pick up the phone and say, hey, Mr. Matthias, they asking me, can they put the Silks out there? This your band. You work for the Norfolk State University, not me. So I mean,
but does that matter so what if, I guess that goes to with if it's contracted work or somebody that the university or teams. Yeah. Is it somebody that just decided to walk in the stadium with a big old bag and just start recording away? Or is it someone designated by the university or by the organization saying, hey, this is a media production team that has permissions to videotape all types of whatever, YouTube, phone, drone, all types of stuff? But I mean,
Justin said it's too much to type. What's too much to type, Justin?
He want to come on. So I think my question from what all we said about permissions and all this other stuff, are we saying that the band programs need to have lawyers on retainer? Is that where we're going? Is that what we're headed towards?
At this point,
I don't know. Are we saying we need a lawyer on retainer? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know if there needs to be lawyers, but I do know that there's going to be more discussion about it, and everybody's not going to always be happy about what comes out of that discussion. We need to understand the law, and then what the university wants to do or what they feel is an acceptable loss or an acceptable risk is up to each university. Each university will say, I'm okay with this, because we need that exposure. We're willing to, let the videographer get all the credit. And we was on the thing with Beyonce. We don't care, right? And there's going to be other schools that are going to be like, no. So it's going to vary, and the discussions have to happen. They're going to happen eventually. And Southern itself,
my comment to the new phone, my comment about they don't call no shots. I was thinking about those who are on the band staff or on the media team. They don't call shots for that content. They need to get permission from the director of bands. But if it's a freelance, yes, they own their content. But if you work for whatever said band program, you don't call no shots with that content.
No, not at all. It belongs to the band, and it belongs to the university. If it's the media team for the school, but if it's a independent, and that's how come, allegedly what's supposed to happen is allegedly the videographers are supposed to go through the office of something in athletics and get passes able to sideline and record, right? And so what I foresee happening is that process becoming a little bit more stringent, because in the past we've just let anybody come. Hey, everybody come on down, and be on the field and record us, and then so basically what we're saying is our likeness and our music belongs to you if you are recording it, and you can do whatever it is you want to do with it, include make money. Now, and how does that sound? Right.
I mean, because then you have to have somebody monitoring. Like, we're gonna monitor Justin's page to see if the Legion blow up when he film it, or Purview blow up when he film it, and then we're gonna be like, Justin, we need a cease and desist, or run us our check. Is that what we're saying? This new standard?
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think you're gonna get more of what Mr. Ellis did. You cannot record in here. Sorry.
So does that mean we're not allowing people to come down on the track and film? Well, in film, or because to Maya's point, I take my phone everywhere and the cameras are getting better. So how do you stop that? Or is that somebody monitoring after the game? Hey Shuni, to pull it down, to request that it comes down after it's up. So we can't stop them from filming it, but once it's up, it's our responsibility to monitor it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So the process is
be a full-time job with all these cell phones.
Exactly. It definitely can be a full-time job. And like I said, most people, I don't think people are going to be concerned about, Mr. Hog 327 who just used his phone and got a couple videos up. I think Justin might be in trouble.
Okay, so let me ask this. So in that instance, do you say do we transition to you can post it, but we want part of the profits, or you can't post it because we the only ones that want to collect on this? Which one of those?
I think and again, don't know the law. Okay. But I really think that every band director, and I said it depends on each school and what they're open to, what they're open to do. And I can make a deal with a videographer and say, look, my girls are parched. Where's the Gatorade? Something, right?
Yeah.
Bring us some Gatorade.
No, I don't think anyone is saying that videographers should totally be done away with. I think right now we're saying, as we move forward, it's going to be the decision, or not the decision, it's going to be where do you draw the line between Joe Smo that walks in, who is, maybe he's on the brink of trying to start a channel or whatever. He's getting his starting break and he doesn't have a contract, or he doesn't work under Justin, or he doesn't work on anybody, and he's trying to get his feet wet, versus Luann, who just got her phone and she just want to record because that's her baby down on the 50, versus blank TM media production team.
Yeah.
Who gets to do what, where, to what extent, and who is able to monetize it if it comes to that. I think
I think we're having this conversation based off of this stuff that has come out of this cease and desist, these trademarking conversations. What's next? Because people are going to start having conversations about where we draw the line. Right. And when you're looking at who's making money off of us, because we all kind of agree that's the key here, is that you're making money off of us. Well, this is also an area where people are making money off of us. So I feel like this will be a part of the conversation going forward.
Absolutely.
Because we as a people, once something is in our face, I know I have not talked about trademarking so much, have not looked up trademarking so much, have not written down questions and stuff for us to talk about at our next band staff meeting. I agree that media is very necessary. And I'll say for a school like mine in the MEAC, we need it. Okay, because it's us. All right. That's how I'll put that. But if you running up and getting cash when you're not in the trenches with us on these days of the week, it's going to start to be a conversation. So I think that's how we got here. We're not saying that media isn't necessary. And I'm saying media,
not at all.
Production teams.
Not at all. We need media. And I think there are lots of healthy relationships between the dancers, between the bands, and some videographers, right? So there are healthy relationships, but there are some that are not, that are just not healthy. It's one-sided. So, but these are conversations that are gonna happen out of this, what you're saying, Portia, is absolutely right. Out of this one conversation, it's going to be a domino effect.
Absolutely. A new era is upon us when it comes to names, trademarking, when it comes down to media, videographers, and the such, those relationships, and where it goes thereafter. Now that this has happened, but it just takes one thing to put people on notice and to get people thinking. So now people are scurrying around like, oh shit, like what's about to happen next? I got to get my ducks in a row. Do I need my ducks in a row? And I think, just like you said, Miss Shawn, you've been thinking about when is it gonna happen? It's happening right here and now. And I don't think now we're going to go backwards. We're not going. It ain't no way to go back to the old times. Now we're on the new, the up and up, and it's just the next level of this here culture and what's going to happen from here on out.
Right.
And it's a sticky situation, Lord.
Yeah, it's sticky. It's definitely sticky. But like I said, I just hope that there's an amicable resolution for all involved, and I it is what it is. I think Alex will be able to offer some good insight for us the next time, and again, like I said, the track record, all of the applications, all of the dates, the abandonment dates, all of that stuff is listed in the database and for everybody to see. So I have not said anything that is not out there, documented. Is it, like I said, it was not my thought to come out here and be talking about stuff I don't know about. Yeah.
Right. We know you ain't gonna come half stepping.
Not gonna libel, slander, defame, ain't doing none of that.
No, we don't want those problems. I don't have time for that.
Absolutely not. I think that this we covered a lot of footage, a lot of information. Does anybody have any closing remarks? Anybody want to say any last words? Not last words. That's dark. I won't say that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to say anything else?
More to come. I mean,
I can tell we're gonna have this conversation again. Just looking at some of the comments in the chat. Are y'all looking at the comments?
Oh yeah.
The train does not stop here. We have so much more to uncover, especially as we get some more information and as these stories continue to unfold and we see what happens in the next 2 weeks. I'm sure we'll have more to discuss.
There'll be more to discuss. And I just caution people to try your best to, take the out of it, because the law is the law until it's not, until it's changed. The law is the law, and everybody has the right. Because just like last night, we was like, HBCUs need to value their shit, and we need to stop being so cheap. And we need to charge, and we need to do this. Oh, wait, but no, not her. Not
right. So then it's muddy. It's muddy because to me, it's all or nothing. But then on the other side of that, it's like, where do you draw the line? And I don't think we'll ever be able to agree on what that line is. Is $1,000 off of us too much? Is it $1 million off of us? So, right now, this is also very new. We hadn't had to deal with this. I mean, I never even thought about this in this sense until all of this capped off, So, and I mean, that's probably one of the comments was that this is gonna, drive us to handle business on the front end. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I agree. But what does that look like? I think that's the next is, what does that look like? Where do you draw the line? Who gets it? Who does not? Who's monitoring it? Like, is this somebody's job now? It's so much that stems from this, because if you think about it, when I was in the band, we had a media team that was putting out these Legion DVDs, but now, you had to hire now as a band staff, you have to have a media team. These positions that didn't necessarily exist, we might have had 1 or 2 people, taping us, but now it's multiple parts and pieces and drones and Macs and It's all kinds of
stuff. The camera in the back that's getting the full sound versus the camera in the front that's doing all of this. You gotta have a camera on the dancers, a camera on the color guard. Gotta have now. If you at Southern, you gotta have a camera on the director, and you gotta have a camera. All these cameras, and then you gotta have somebody who knows how to edit all that stuff together.
Right, and then that's another talent. So what I'm saying is that that's something that we had to adjust to. And now, to me, this is something else we have to adjust to. Like, what does this look like? How's this going to affect our band programs in the next year, the next 5 years, next 10 years? Because social media and all of that is here to stay.
Yeah, it's here.
Shuni just fired some shots.
What? Oh Lord.
Baby, we said that. I think Rick said that yesterday, that, you know, all of these people are getting this money. He named Pepsi yesterday. All of these people are getting this money. You know, they're getting their cut off the top, and we getting $25,000. I don't mean no harm. Depending on the size of your program, that ain't no whole lot of money. Shuni, call a spade a spade. And that's what Rick was saying yesterday. Imagine what would happen if we put our own money up and fill these seats. What the return would be.
My thing is, Portia, I don't think that we should cut them out or anything like that. I believe that we need to just get better at communicating and negotiating.
Yeah.
And I think that there are beneficial relationships with sponsors, and we don't want to ruin it for everybody. You know, just because, you know, FAM might not need a sponsor or Bethune might not need a sponsor, don't mean we don't need one.
Right. And I'm not saying that sponsors are all that bad, but if you filling up this dome, you making more than enough to give us more than $25,000. Let's be clear.
Right.
So but I agree. Yeah. It just needs to be more beneficial because of all it takes to get to these performances.
Yeah, I think the conversations are going to happen, and what I see as positive is that the band directors now more than ever are actually talking to each other, and it took a while for that to happen. So I like that.
Me too. Speaking of band directors, before we close out, because obviously there's going to be levels to this conversation. So continuing on this conversation, y'all please make sure y'all tune in to Crystal's show, airing this Sunday, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Diary of a Lady Band Director, they're going to be covering media teams and the band directors.
Ooh, child, I'm here for that. I want to be in the middle of that because I hope y'all going to be talking about these band directors that got their own camera team now. Oh. That's interesting.
So this Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please tune in. And for everybody else in the comments, we can't be here till me. Even though I love the engagement. Y'all see the Gmail on the screen, thefeaturepod@gmail.com. If you have comments, if you have questions, if you have ideas on topics, please, please, please send your feedback to that Gmail, and we're going to start taking bits of that and being able to put that into the show, or even whether we have a Q&A session. But please, all this information, because there's a lot going on in these comments, and these are all part of the conversation that we need to continue to have, and I don't want to lose this vital information. So if y'all could please direct that towards the Gmail, thefeaturepod@gmail.com. We will be sure to follow up. Because, child, we done opened up a big old can of worms.
And shout out to y'all. These comments, y'all have been keeping me going tonight. And
absolutely,
thank you for the engagement. Y'all definitely made some great points.
Absolutely, I love it. I love it.
Thank you guys.
Thank
you.
Ooh, and thank y'all.
And wait till the next one.
What'd you say, Miss Shawn?
I said, can't wait till the next one.
I know. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't know what date that is. What is this? The 26th? On the 9th. June 9th. Set your calendars. And we'll be right here, 7:15 Central Standard Time. Back on YouTube. Back on Facebook. Thank y'all so much.
One of these juicy topics.
I know something is gonna happen, and then the next 2 weeks it's gonna be something.
This band world is constant.
Exactly. Ooh, okay. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all so much. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Happy. I don't know what holiday
Memorial,
this is, but happy whatever day.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thank y'all so much.